Yeah, I have a property in High Ridge, Missouri that I've been working on getting a strategy in place for. So we are offering it on seller financing. We're also in negotiations that are going really well now with a tenant who wants to occupy 2 of the 3 vacant spaces. So that's going to really help our cash flow. It's going to be like basically proof in the pudding for what we think the cash flow would be. So I think that that might make the deal more enticing for someone who wants to buy a cash flowing property. If anybody's interested in getting more details on a commercial residential mixed use space in High Ridge, I'd be happy to email it to you. I just need your email address. And I've got a communication ready to go that I can just send it over to you right away with tons of pictures, tons of details. So yeah, so if we don't find someone to seller finance it to, we'll just hold it and cash flow it because it's going to do really well on cash flow. Really well. So yep, so that's kind of where we're at. We're just taking whatever comes our way and working with it. Other than that, always looking for property that would make sense for myself to own long term, especially multifamily properties. So if anybody has anything or knows of anything, I'd always like to look at evaluating something in that realm as I am acquiring multifamilies and even commercial mixed use. And then if anybody has a property that they want help finding a buyer for, maybe I wouldn't be the buyer, but I certainly do know people and know how to find people. I helped a member of this group close on one last week, so would be happy to do that again by helping make a connection for you and even getting you to the closing table by handling all the details. So I'll put my information in the chat. But again, my name's Laura Lennington. Also, I live on the Illinois side of the river, so I can look at Illinois deals. But my phone number is area code 719-648-8365. And my email is my name, and I'll put it in the chat, but it's Laura, Laura, .c.Lennington, LENINGTON @gmail.com.
Thank you, Laura. And do you mind telling us a little bit about maybe the terms and a little bit on the details on your property down there? Because I know it was a good looking property. I just kind of seen some of the pictures.
Yeah.
Tell us.
Yeah, I'm going to pull up the email I just sent to someone who reached out to me, another investor. Okay, so here are the terms. We have flexibility on the terms. So I'll start off by saying that. But we're looking for a sales price of just under $360,000. So we're at $359,600 sales price, asking for a 10% down payment. So that would get you right at about $36,000 down. The monthly payments to us would be right around $4,045. That includes principal, interest, taxes, and insurance. Now, that insurance figure is an estimate, but we have reason to believe it's a very good estimate. We are currently working with the county to nail down our assessment to get the details more accurate. But with what we believe the taxes will be, you'd be making a monthly payment of $40.45. Now, the income potential is the upside here. So we currently have a tenant in place renting the apartment at $10.50 a month. We're in negotiations with someone to rent out 2 of the 3 vacant units for somewhere in the neighborhood of $2,000 a month. Could be more, wouldn't be less. So once you get the last unit rented, we think the income potential is $5,050 a month. So right there with seller financing, only bringing 10% down, you'd be cash flowing up to $1,000 a month, or maybe more. Maybe you could even do better. Those are the terms kind of right off the top of my head. Any questions that I can answer? Be happy.
What kind of business is it? Are they in there, Laura?
So the person we're talking with currently is going to do a very small scale used car dealership operation. As far as what has been there in the past, there's been a daycare there in the past, and that includes the daycare used part of the side that's still vacant. They use the whole place, but so that for what is still vacant, it could be used as possibly like a daycare. It was also in the past a like a retro gaming store. They sold like movie memorabilia, like picture like Freddy Krueger, and like video games, and they did like Dungeons and Dragons memorabilia and game nights. So that kind of a business was in there. We've had people look at the property to run like fire suppression businesses out of. It could honestly be so many things. It's not like industrial, okay? It's probably more office or like storefront. I've had someone look at it for a coffee shop. The vacant side does come with a kitchen, a pretty good sized kitchen. Um, could be an accountant's office, could be a lawyer's office, could be a resale clothing store. I'm just throwing things out there, but it would definitely be worth looking at if you didn't need something that involved the use of like chemicals or things like that. We do have residential tenants right above there. So but I think it could be used in a lot of different ways. The vacant side also comes with a pretty large unfinished basement. So, and it's walk out and up basement. So there's a door down a few stairs that would get you in there. So it could also be if a business needed a lot of storage space, that's available there as well. Those are my rambling thoughts on that question.
Well, that's great, Lars. Sounds like some a lot of opportunities there. Retail is mainly what you're looking at, and then it does come with some residential, which is pretty special in itself. So there's a lot of I can see a lot of opportunities with that.
Yeah. The residential tenants are like maybe been there about 2 years. The person we bought the building from gave them a substantial rent hike because it was under market rent and they took it and they wanted to stay clearly. Probably won't need to hike on them again anytime soon because they're at market rates now. But the point being is that they're happy to be there. They want to be there. Yeah. And the people that we're talking to about the current lease negotiations we're in, they're asking for at least a 2-year lease. So again, somebody that's eyeballing it for like long-term, I think long-term use.
That sounds
And
great.
High Ridge Boulevard, so
High
lots of traffic.
Ridge.
High
Yeah.
Ridge Boulevard, so not tucked away where no one's going to drive by it. There's plenty of business around. Strip mall across the street, HVAC to one side, car wash to another side. Yes.
Nice. And yeah, if you don't mind putting your contact information in the chat too, so people could write it down. I know you mentioned it verbally, which you appreciate. And I will say, one thing I always admire about you, Laura, is you are one of the best solutionists I've ever seen as far as figuring out deals. And you look more about the solution than you do about the dollar signs, which is very unusual in a lot of, with a lot of people we run into. So I do
Yeah,
have to say that.
thanks. I appreciate it. Yeah. Well, we're all here to make a profit, and that profit's not a bad word. But at the same time, like, yeah, I love to get creative. I love to figure out what are the solutions that we're not seeing. Basically, if you ask me for information on this building and I send it to you and you have an idea that we don't have written up in there, we're going to talk about it. It's one of the things I really love to do. And I heard someone start to speak, so I'm sorry. I interrupted someone.
Oh, great. Thank you.
Hey, John. Hey, this is Ann.
Yes.
I just want to say that Laura assisted a sale for me last week, and she did an super awesome job.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks, Ann. That was a fun one, Ann, and Ann was awesome too. But I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah, it was fun. Yes, it's really fun working with her. Yeah.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Thank you, Ann. You guys are both so valuable to our group and just to the world in general. I just appreciate both you guys. And I know if there's a way to do it, Laura will figure it out. And Ann, I know you come with a great attitude too. So very, very open to getting things done the right way. So, which is huge. And I appreciate the referral you gave me on the lawn a few weeks ago too. So that's one reason we all meet here is to kind of do things together because profit is good, but it's profit sharing partnerships really is what it's all about. So
Yep, it's right.
it's great.
Thank you.
Thanks.
All right. And I saw a message in the chat about someone looking at commercial property. So I'll be reaching out to you and we'll get the details. I just need your email address. And I appreciate it, everybody. That's what's on my mind for today. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. There's a good opportunity for someone. And really the cost is right in line. That's a great investment. under 400,000 for this property. I'll tell you that. You can't even buy a lot of houses in a decent neighborhood anymore for that much.
Yeah, I was running cash flow scenario numbers, John, on this deal. Because yeah, if we hold it, we'll likely refinance it. But basically for us to get 70% LTV. Okay, I'm going to butcher all of this, but I think you guys know what I'm saying. I got the NOI calculated based on the rents that we're already proving right now. And the NOI, taking into consideration needing 70% of LTV, would actually mean that the building would need to appraise at something in the neighborhood of 440,000 for the bank to give us 70%. And in order to do that, I ran the numbers on cap rate. That's still a 10% cap rate. So I was really, I hadn't really looked, I'd looked deeply-ish. I just didn't have like the people in conversation with the rents where we thought they would be. Now that we do, it just feels like a really solid deal. And we certainly are open to seller financing another investor or someone who wants to use that vacant business space. But I will not be sad if I hold this because it's shaping up. So yeah, shaping up really well. So.
Yeah, owner financing, I'll tell you, that's something that we kind of gravitated to a few years ago. And I really think that's the way to go for a lot of us. I mean, it's not for everybody, but it does kind of, it takes you out of the landlord type situation. Yep. It's because I personally want happy homeowners, and happy, people to buy from us. And that just seems to make a difference. So I'm glad to see you doing that, Laura. This is an excellent opportunity for someone.
Yeah, thanks, John.
Let's see. Blake wanted to know, Laura, is there any rehab needed?
There could be a few things here and there. So specific, it just is going to depend on what the future tenants or occupants want. We're not really touching it because we don't know what people want. Now we're willing to talk about some things that come up. The things that are coming up are like, we want a new window unit in this little office over here. Okay. There's nothing major. There's some drywall patchwork that could be done. Some painting could certainly be done. What we have already had done recently is the property got an entirely new septic system, septic field tanks, everything is brand new as of December. And the roofs are in great shape. 2 of the 3 roofs were replaced within the last couple of years. The third one wasn't, simply because it had tons of life left. There could possibly be some tuck pointing done in the next couple of years in a spot where the brick is. It's not like the whole place needs it. It's not falling apart. There are just a couple things. The basement is not wet at all, but you can see where in the past some water has seeped in. We haven't seen it seep in since we owned it, but we're probably going to waterproof it at some point, or someone should, but it would be a very light waterproofing, nothing major. So what does it need? Rehab? No, it doesn't. Would you want to probably budget for a few things that coming up in the next couple of years? Yes, but as far as we know, nothing major at all. And I've got pictures of everything exactly how it is now. So anyone who's interested can go through those. Also, we have the property on lockbox for all the vacant areas to be walked, which is the majority of it right now. So someone could kind of determine for themselves, what they think they need to put into it. Some interested tenants or buyers are saying nothing. Some people are saying, I got to redo this whole thing because of my business. So it's really just dependent on what the business needs to look like once they move in.
Well, the septic being new, that's a huge deal right in itself. And you just had that done, what did you say, December?
I don't know. I didn't mean to do that, but yes, we got an entire thing. You guys will remember me being on this call months ago. This was the deal, looking for a septic company to get all this septic stuff figured out. And we ended up getting the entire thing replaced. So
wow,
that's
huge in itself.
Yeah. Yeah, it was. Yeah. I mean, it doesn't matter what it cost. It just wasn't cheap.
Yeah.
And it's all brand new up to 2024 standards. So
wow, that's huge right in itself, because I know we dealt with the septic recently, and that's it's different than it was even 10 years ago.
Yep. Yeah.
Different world. Okay, I think Raquel wanted the address. I don't know if you want to put that out publicly or if you just want to do that privately. That's up to you.
Yeah, I'll put it in there. It's totally fine.
Okay, yeah.
I'll say it too. I'm typing it. It's 3100 High Ridge Boulevard in High Ridge, Missouri.
Okay. And yeah, if you could put your contact information in there also. I think Blake was asking about that too. So you can.
So I did, everybody. Oh, I put it in a direct message on accident. Okay, I'll put it out to the group. Sorry. Thanks for asking again. I thought I did that, but okay,
Thank
so let me put this out a direct message.
All right. Appreciate that, Laura. 3,100. Yeah, there you go. Okay. Anybody else have anything they'd like to sell? This is a good place to start. A great, great property for somebody right there. Make sure you jot Laura's information down there. Anybody looking to buy anything? You know, a lot of times we have people on here looking in certain areas. If anybody does come across any wholesale type deals or even retail, I know a lot of times we have people on here looking for specific neighborhoods, which is always good. And I do want to say, and one thing I appreciate, like with Laura there, but with some of our other members too, the more specific you can be, the better off you are going to be on some of that. Because if you can narrow it down, people will look and be very attentive on very specifics there. Okay, I see we got a hand up, Ron Nash. You can unmute yourself if you want to talk to us. I think you're still muted. I don't know if you tried there. Maybe not. All right. Well, maybe Ron can't unmute himself. I see your hands down, so maybe that was a mistake. Sometimes we bump those. All right. Anybody else have anything that they're working on? Anything that they may need some help with? I know Laura just talked about her septic she got a couple months ago. That's a pretty major project. I know we have people come on here looking for little projects and big projects, and you never know who you might run into here. I know I found a lot of good contacts right here every Friday, which we meet every week. We're just about to complete our 4th full year since we started this. And I don't know if you were on last week, Kathy Davis was here, and she's the one that actually helped to start all this. So we're just happy to be here. Oh, there's Ron. Did you?
Yes, I'm here.
Hi, Ron.
Hi. Sorry. Yeah, I was having trouble with getting the technical stuff done. So I wanted to let the group know that I am a private lender, and I have money to lend for your projects. Because I'm a private lender, I can make all sorts of things happen and change things around and such. So
Okay.
if anybody needs the cash, you can call the Nash.
That's a great catchphrase. What kind of criteria are you looking for, Ron? Is this your money, or are you a broker with someone else?
No, it's my money.
Okay.
And for me, like I mentioned, it can vary a lot. I have a strong preference for first position loans is all. Typically, the most one I do most often is a 6 months term, 12%, 2 points at the final closing after we close out the loan. But again, I can work pretty much whatever. It's all negotiable.
Okay. And is there dollar amounts or certain criteria? Are you looking for certain LTVs, and is there
Yes.
minimums or maximums, things like that?
Yeah, I prefer 65 to 70, around that range. And I got a little over $250,000 coming in sometime later this month that I'll have available.
Okay. Is there any certain neighborhoods or anything you look at, or you just look at the deal if it makes sense, or how do you look at this?
No, I'm really looking for the deal itself, the loan to value and such. I've even gone into, as a lender, I've got some in some what I will call rough neighborhoods. Those neighborhoods, typically I don't want the houses. Well, I never want the house. And but especially in those neighborhoods, so I charge a little bit more for the potential that I might wind up owning one of those properties. But again, it's all negotiable.
Mhm. Okay, excellent. And what's the did you have any minimums that you're looking at too, I guess is the other question I would have.
No, I don't have minimums. There was a time I had like 17 loans out there, and they were like even as low as $10,000, 20,000. I had a whole bunch of those minimums. It was things wherein the borrower had already bought the house typically and such, and they had some unexpected things that came up, as oftentimes happens for investors. And so, yeah, I can work with that.
That's a great point because I know a lot of people, especially when they're new, they don't put away a little reserves on the side because there are things that come up. I was talking to a guy just I don't know, a couple of weeks ago, and he had put all his money in a rental property, and then the heater went out, and that was
Yes.
like a $7,000 unexpected just surprise right here. And that'll wipe out your cash flow too. If you don't have a little bit of reserve, put her off to the side for those unexpected things. That could be a deal breaker or a game changer for you. So
Yeah, it can. And I've done that before. I bought and sold several properties over the years. I started when I was 22. I'm a little bit older than that now. And so I understand all that happens, and I can work with that as well.
yeah. What's a good contact information or contact for you, Ron? What would
Okay,
you?
I think I have on my name my phone number, but I'll tell it real quick here. My phone number is 314-323-1659. 314-323-1659. And if you want to give me a call, I'll give you the rest, email address and such if you wish. And if nothing else, it might be good to have it as a reference in case sometime in the future you might need something.
Thank you, Ron. It's always good to say it verbally here too, because people do watch the replays and they can't always have access to the chat. That's easy access. So that
Okay,
helps.
great.
So appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
All right. So if somebody needs some money, get a hold of Ron there. It's nice having some local people too with that. I know we deal with local banks a lot, but it's just different if you can bring a deal that makes sense because not everybody qualifies for the bank loans. So that's just a great resource to have.
John,
Yes, ma'am. Denise.
I just wanted to mention to Ron that his caption has 1759 instead of 1659.
Oh, okay. Okay. You're muted there, Ron. Thank you. Thank you, Denise. Yeah, we'll want some clarification on that. Ron, if you could unmute yourself, maybe clarify it for that for us, that would be great. We're still muted there. The technical difficulties. I'm very familiar with those. We can't hear you, Ron.
Okay, here we go.
There you are.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Perfect. So my phone number is incorrect. The correct number is the one I voiced, and that was 314-323-1659. 1659. If you need the cash, call the Nash.
I love that.
Thanks
Great
for the
tagline.
clarification.
Okay, thank you for clarifying that, Ron. Thank you.
Thank you for being patient with me working the technology.
All good. All good. And just about when I think I have Zoom figured out, they change it or make me re-sign in and everything's different. So you're not alone on any of that.
Yeah, I'm a mechanical engineer. I should know how to do this. No excuse.
Well, good luck with that. Let me know if
Thank
you ever
you.
figure it out. Maybe you could teach us a class one of these
I could
Fridays.
teach it maybe if I learn it myself.
Oh, that's great.
Hey,
All right.
John,
Yes.
this
Yes.
is Jay Roman. I
Hey.
also loan money.
Huh?
I specialize in fix and flips, fix and keep and refi, reboot borrowers. I also do commercial purchases. So if Laura is going to be keeping the property and is going to refinance it, give me a call. I'll be able to help her.
Okay. What type of LTVs do you work with there, Jay? On commercial property?
65, I believe it's 65%.
Okay, and commercial 65. Okay. And that's, I know you call it reboot. That's a refi. I think somebody asked me that
Yeah.
a couple
Yeah,
weeks
it
ago.
is.
Same thing.
They call it refi reboot, but it's actually a refi starting over.
Okay. Starting over. And is there any seasoning requirements on that, Jay? I know that used to be a thing that we dealt with when I was a mortgage broker, as far as having certain amount of time per, depending on the loan program.
Well, you mean to finance it, the amount of time to finance it?
If you're gonna refinance, let's say I bought something and I want to refi it to fix it up in a month later, or do I need to wait 6 months or 1 year, or is there any certain requirements that for seasoning they called it?
Oh, no, there isn't.
Okay, so it could be right away then.
Yes.
Okay. And what about any limits, minimums or maximums, Jay?
No minimums. Usually we like to do 5,000, 10,000 minimum, but there's no maximum. We have millions of dollars to invest.
Okay. And is this your money, or is this are you kind of brokering this out?
I'm brokering this through different companies.
Okay. And okay, would you like to give us your contact information?
Yeah, you can email me at j@Roman, which is ROHMAN, nationwidehouses.com. So that's j@Roman nationwidehouses.com. I'm also local. I have a phone number that I can give you. I prefer an email though, because I'm very busy. My phone number is 636-462-0246. Once again, that's 636-462-0246.
All right. Thank you, Jay.
Thank you.
Okay, looks like we got some money available to us. I don't see Carrie on there. She's with New Frontier Bank. She comes on sometimes, and I don't see her today. She has had a a broken leg though for a while, and I hopefully she's doing better. Okay, Renee, can't you mute? Do you have a?
I don't think she can unmute.
You can't unmute it, I guess is what you're probably trying to say, Gary. And do you have a minimum credit score? Yeah, that's a good question for you, Ron, and also you, Jay. Ron, do you have a credit score minimum or any certain criteria as far as that goes?
Okay. No, I don't care about your credit. I'm looking at the house as the security. So I don't even ask the question.
Okay. That's good to know. Yeah, the deal is what you're looking at. That's what it sounded
sir.
like. And yeah, I like that because you can kind of personalize that to the person and the deal. I know we do that a lot with our owner financing things. We look at the person, and even though we have a professional screen them, in fact, almost everyone that we take, the person we have do it, the professionals say they would not rent to the people, but you got to look a little bit beyond that and just see if they're a good fit for the project. So I like that. And what about you, Jay? Do you have any certain criteria as far as credit scores?
No, like Ron, we look at the deal. Your credit score will determine the rates that you're going to get, but we do not exclude you because of your credit score.
Okay, you would go down to any amount? Is that what you're saying?
That's correct.
Okay. What about foreclosures and things like that? Do you look beyond the score?
No, we do not.
Okay. So you could actually have one day out of foreclosure or bankruptcy and still get a loan?
Yeah,
If
we're looking at the deal.
Okay.
Looking at the deal.
Okay. All right, good to know. So I know we used to work with people, and we've had, actually, this is back in the old days, but we would actually get them 100% financing sometimes one day out of bankruptcy, which I don't know what the criteria is now. It's a different world out there now. But I like dealing with the people better than the actual because the numbers don't always tell the whole true story with what's going on. Okay, and Home Homes and More LLC asking Ron, can you repeat your phone number and maybe put it in the chat also if you could do that, because sometimes it's easier for us to write it down, which would be helpful.
Okay. My phone number again is 314-323-1659. 314-323-1659. My email address is 0921ron, RON, at gmail.com.
Thank you, Ron. And could you also type that in the chat if you don't mind?
Yeah, I'll try to figure it out right here.
Looks like you got the mute down, so we're doing good.
Hey, I'm getting better by the moment here.
You'll be running the
Very
meeting by the time it's over.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Very good. All right. Anybody else have anything they'd like to share with us today? We have some really good opportunities here. Nice commercial deal from Laura. Got some money available from Ron and Jay. So let's see. I think I got everything here in the chat. I think we do. Okay. Anybody else have anything you'd like to share with us today? Anybody wanting to buy or sell anything? Or actually looking for contractors? I know we've had a lot of good connections here over the last few years.
Hey, John, did you ever find out what the AI message on the screen meant? I think last thing you said you were going to look into it.
I couldn't really figure that out. I think I'm going to wait till Ron figures it out and then learn from him. I think on this technical stuff, Ann. From what it looked like, is it's just a way to take notes.
Okay.
And
So-
I usually try to put in the transcription too. That's something fairly new on here. And that way I can go back and kind of read the stuff. The only thing about doing it with the transcription that does it for you is it doesn't always get our verbiage exactly right. So that's the thing that's a little tricky for me, but yeah, I think that's what it is, Ann.
Okay, yeah, I
Yeah.
was just wondering, making sure it's not something they're trying to change the words you're saying and giving us incorrect information. Or
Well,
what,
it could be.
Are they just keeping an eye on us and listening to everything we're saying?
Well, the way I look at it is the way I've done this for many years. I don't put anything out there in public that my mother would not be proud of. And
Yeah,
that's
that's
my
true.
general
Mhm.
rules. And as long as I do that, I'm usually okay.
Yeah, good. Okay.
Yeah, John, you're right. It's Otter AI, which is a speech to text program, and it was following along everywhere up until about half past 10 or 11 minutes ago. And it's a program that you can download, and I think you can get like 800 words free a month. But I think it cut out for Sajanya, who is, I guess, was trying to keep it. So it quit following you about 10 or 11 minutes ago, and I was trying to copy it so I wouldn't have to write all this down. And it does goof up a lot of words, as some speech to text programs are not perfect. But yeah, that's what it is. It's meant to take steno notes, the old words, take the words down for you so you don't have to write anything, and you can pay attention to listening and then look at it later. So it does have a free part, but I think there's also a pay part if you want to get beyond a certain things and all that. And there's other speech to text programs out there. I was just surprised that this one worked like that, and it was kind of interesting to follow along for what that's worth. So if somebody has trouble writing and keeping up with the writing, if they're trying to write everything down, a speech to text program can work pretty well for you and save you some time and effort.
Thank you, Bruce. That clarifies that a little bit. I know the transcriptions, when I put those on my system here, it automatically saves everything we've said. So I get that automatically besides the chat. So I'm not real familiar with what you were just saying with the AI thing, but that's a good thing to know, because I know a lot of people, especially sometimes you can't always hear and things like that. It's always good if we have it written down. But I did notice I don't like to use those for my notes though, because the language is different sometimes. So. All right, let's see. Raquel, you were, let's see, does anyone have any property or land available in Lincoln County? Would you like to unmute yourself, Raquel, and tell us what kind of a little bit more detail what you're looking for? Are you able to do that?
Yeah, I'm pretty much looking for almost anything in Lincoln County. It could be land that's undeveloped, or it could be land that has something on it.
Okay, are you looking for any certain amounts? Are you looking for building lots?
Maybe building lots, or even starting at 5 acres till about 20 acres. Or if it has a structure on it, still looking for land that has some acreage with it.
Okay. As far as building lots though, are you open to like half-acre size lots also, or are you strictly looking for 5 to 20 acres?
Well, we're looking at, half acre. No, I'm
Okay.
looking for land.
Okay.
Yeah.
So more than just a lot. Gotcha. Okay.
Yes, more than just a lot. So if it already had a structure on it, it still need to have some acreage with it.
Okay, great. And is there any certain dollar amounts that you're looking for, or do you have like a maximum amount you're looking for, I guess, in this case?
Yeah, to stay maybe like let's say a quarter of a million, no more than 350.
Okay. All right. And what do you have some contact information you'd like to share with us, Raquel?
Yeah, I'll go ahead and drop it in the chat. Thanks, John.
Okay. If you don't mind saying it orally or verbally also, Raquel, because people do.
Okay, it's Henderson Properties, HendersonProperties@gmail.com. Phone number 636-675-7143. And my name is RAQUEL Henderson.
All right.
And I'll put it in the chat.
Excellent. Thank you, Raquel.
Okay, thanks, John.
Very good. So there's somebody that was Lincoln County. So if somebody has some property or know of something out there, that's a good, you want to get a hold of Raquel. Excellent. Okay. Anybody else have anything they want to share with us today? I see Tiffany joined us down there too. I know you were looking for something, I think last week in, I believe St. Charles, for somebody coming up here. If I remember right. I don't know if you're able
Yes.
to. Sure. Go ahead, Tiffany.
Yes, still looking for that. 2 bedrooms in St. Charles or Fort Zumwalt School District, preferably, they said. They are open to other areas, but those are their first choices. And they're looking to stay under 1,200 if possible. They're open to apartment, townhome, house, any of it.
Okay. That's Fort Zumwalt School District. That's what I didn't remember here. Okay. Yeah, what's the best way to get a hold of you, Tiffany?
My cell phone is 636-299-0085. And my email address is tbarnharthomes@gmail.com. Barnhart, Barnhart.
Okay.
They are looking to move the end of May. We can work with a different time frame if you have anything coming up. And I have known them for over 10 years, so I can personally vouch for them.
Okay. All right. There's good opportunity for somebody. I know this time of year, people do start having things come available, coming up in the next month or so. So that's good. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
If you don't mind putting that also in the chat so they can write it down too, if that's helpful.
Of course.
Okay. And then we got Charles, looking for leads and financing. Would you want to tell us what you have there, Charles?
Yeah, John.
Here you are. Okay.
Yeah, I was just anybody needing property leads, just like I just sent to Raquel, if she wants a list of possible available properties. I get search engines to look for that kind of stuff along with financing possibilities also.
Okay. And what type of leads are these, Charles?
They're off of anybody that knows of Connected Investor. I can bring up land leads on that.
Okay.
There'll be people that are looking to sell.
Are these like
type
distressed properties? Or they ones that come up on lists for?
There'll be properties that there's some indication that there's wanting to sell. It could be foreclosures. It could be that they've inherited them. There's got to be some reason why they come to this list.
Okay.
You never know what the trigger was.
Okay.
So,
And I see you got a website in there. Would you like to give us verbally your contact information there, Charles?
okay, lakeviewinvestmentstrategies.com. If you want to email me, it's lakeviewinvestmentstrategies@gmail. If you want to call me on my cell phone, it's 815-674-9542. And by all means, leave me a little message because my cell phone is completely worthless anymore between Medicare, donations wanted, and I think everybody knows what's going on with that.
Medicare donations. I think they need more money, don't they?
No, Medicare, we want to give you the best deal, and sheriffs and fire departments, and it's one thing after another.
I just seen a thing the other day where there's 3,044 sheriffs in the United States. So I don't know if that's true or not, but that's about one per county, I guess.
Yeah, it is.
So.
Yep. So, and also the lender that I'm working with has greatly expanded what they will consider giving out a loan. I have not even got the details yet. I was just informed of it.
Okay. Thank you, Charles. I see you got your info in there. Okay. Let's see. And then Raquel, you put yours in there. And then Tiffany, yes, that's very good. Thanks for putting your information in there also. You've known them for 10 years, so that's a pretty good reference right there. All right. Anybody else have anything they'd like to share with us today?
Hi, John. This is Jim Phelan. Can you hear me?
Yeah, Jim, sure.
I've got 2 properties under contract right now that one of them I plan to wholesale. The other one I might wholesale, or I might take possession and do a mild upgrade and put on the market, but the one I'm going to wholesale for sure is in Affton, and the other one is a townhouse in Chesterfield. The Affton home is probably going to be in the 160,000 range. The townhome in Chesterfield is probably going to be in the 450 range. So anybody who's interested can feel free to reach out to me. They won't be available until late March, early April, because there are people living in them now. But just wanted to kind of toss it out there.
Okay. And Jim, let's just the house in Afton, that's a single family home.
That's correct.
Okay, and it's got somebody living in it right now. Do you know what kind of repairs it might need, and maybe a ARV after that by any chance?
The ARV is around 300, and it needs a general upgrade. I mean, it's obviously livable because there's people living there. They have been living there. Tenants have been living there for a long time. But I walked the property. I took a lot of pictures, and if you wanted to buy it as a rental, you could probably clean it up a little bit and rent it out right away. If you wanted to buy it as a renovation, then you'd want to upgrade kitchens, bathrooms, paint, windows, all that.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, just depending on your strategy, if you want it for a rental or a turnkey, well, basically a retail property.
Right.
Okay. And the one in Chesterfield, that will be available also later in March. Is that correct?
Yes. My actual close date on that one is March 22nd.
Okay.
And I'll have, right now there's the owner is living there. She will be moving out around March 9th, so about a month from today. And at that point, I'll have access to it. I've taken pictures of it as it is. I mean, it's in great shape. It could probably use a new, probably have the carpet upstairs replaced. The kitchens and bathrooms are they're in really good shape. In fact, the bathroom, couple of the bathrooms I think were updated recently. Whether they were updated in the way that I would have updated them is another thing, but nevertheless, that's all a matter of taste.
Okay. And let's see. Okay. And do you have would you like to share your contact information with us, Jim, on how you'd like us to get a hold of you?
Yeah, you want me to just put it in the chat?
I also like for you to say it verbally, if you don't mind, too, for anybody watching the replay. But
Sure.
yeah, both would be excellent.
Yeah, so it's Jim Phelan, Phelan. My phone number is 314-265-1893. My email is JE like Edward, P like Paul, HELA 0944 @att.net.
att.net. Okay. And this would be a good place also, Jim, to even bring it up another time or two, because people do watch the replays, but we do have a lot of people come in now and then. And as it gets closer, I know March is not very far off at this point. It seemed like it, but we're going to be out of March in no time. So appreciate that, Jim. If you come, that'd be great.
Okay.
All right. Okay, and Blake's in Santorini for the week, late evening, so he's going to fly. Okay, well, good seeing you, Blake. Have fun on your trip. Hopefully that's what you're having some fun down there, and do some market research so you can make it a tax-deductible business trip. Always want to keep that in mind. There's always opportunities to make everything we do, or at least most of the things we do, towards our business. So it's good seeing you again. All right. Anybody else got anything they'd like to share with us today? We got a lot of good information, a lot of good shares today. We'll have this on the recording on the, I'll have it on YouTube by midnight tonight. I always make that my rule. That way I do it before I go to bed, no matter what. I say midnight. It's usually sooner. Sometimes it's 1:30 though, depending on what happens if I'm out somewhere. But I always get it done before morning. And then on the website, I can't control them because the webmaster He's in New York and they deal with people overseas a lot for the technical aspects. So sometimes they don't get him on the website till Monday, but that's usually there by Monday. So if you need to know anything else, you can always reach out to me if you can't wait. That's why I encourage you to write down anything out of the chat, talk to anybody you'd like to get a hold of, and then also you can go back and watch the replay. So that's always good. Nice thing about the replays, at least for me, I know I usually watch them at 1.5 speed so I can get through them quicker because my time is limited. But also you can stop them and write down phone numbers and contact information, which is very helpful. So that's why we do encourage you to say everything verbally as well as writing it down. So thank you, Jim. I see you got that in there. Okay, anybody else have anything they'd like to share today? Speaking of telephones. So. All right. Well, anybody else have anything they'd like to share? Appreciate everybody coming in. A lot of good information, like I said today. I guess we're coming up on the hour. So if nothing else, we will see you all next week. Okay. Well, if nothing else, we'll see you all next week. Thanks again, everybody. Good seeing you.